Okay. All right, all right. Hey, Catherine. Welcome back. Welcome back to me as well. Welcome back to everybody. Hey, Lee. Welcome back. Interesting username, Lee. Avery. Would you rather me call you Avery, Lee? Is that what you prefer? In the context of Twitch, or do you prefer me to call you Lee? Because I can remember. I can remember that Avery means Lee. Okay. No means call me Lee. All right. Um, yes, it is good to have you back, Rivers. And hey, Remy, welcome back. I know you've been waiting for the stream as well to go down. And here we are. Here we are. This is your first time in the Twitch stream, although you have followed me on Twitch for a while. I just think this is the first one you've gotten an opportunity to be a part of, so that's great. Thank you, Othello. Welcome back to you as well. Great to have you here. Amazing to see you. And yeah, so here we go. Here we go. Um, yeah, I still have a lot to catch up on. Um, in terms of content centered around the stream, so I'm going live on Twitch right now. Um, and it doesn't mean the TikTok streams are over or anything. I'm just doing a just chatting as we're doing right now slash um probably YouTube, something like that. Um, because I've gone live for so long, yet I have not. I never thought when I first started going live, I never thought it would be such a thing. And so later down the road, I realized I really I really should be not just uploading the full stream archives onto YouTube and things, but I should be clipping good moments, you know, making watered down gaming video, like all the stuff that I've been doing on all social medias. And so I have so much of a backlog that I've been trying to catch up on it all. That's essentially the situation right now. So if I do another gaming stream right now, well, now I'm even further behind. If I do another TikTok stream, I'm even further behind. So YouTube streams are the one content category that are pretty easy for me to edit, and I'm not backlogged on those. I've always kept up with those. So that part's fine, and that's why we're here right now. Long story short, this is the method. Also, this is the first time that I have um gone live since I got direct injection internet. I changed this to my computer setup, my stream setup from Wi-Fi to Ethernet. So now we should have an insanely stable bit rate and stream quality. That goes for TikTok as well when we go back there. But yeah, fastest possible internet on my end, so there should be no lagging or bad quality from me, at least. So anyway, it definitely has been, Othello. It has been. For number one, for me streaming, it's been at least a month. at least. And for you in the stream, the last time I saw you in the stream was the last YouTube stream that I did. It was great to have you there. And before that, it was a while. It was a while before that one. So, Catherine says, I wanted to tell you the news that I got from the doctors. Unfortunately, I got to do more blood tests again. So that's the bad news is you need to do more tests. I was hoping that the bad news wasn't a situation where you're dealing with like you got bad news, like you have some horrible disease, but at least it's cured because you said it was a mixture of good and bad news. So I was hoping that it wasn't something like you have, oh, there's more. Well, never mind then. I speak too soon. I speak too soon. Um, Hoping to schedule my surgery on Friday when I go back to the doctor. I think Othello is the one. I think Othello, you are subscribed, so you're not going to be dealing with the ad that's going on right now. Uh, but it will be over in a minute, and I will continue what I was going to say and respond with um in just a minute once the ad is over. But I hope you've been really well. I hope you've been really well, Othello. And I love it. I love that you've used your sub just for me. It is good. No pesky ads. I think they run what, like once every 30 minutes, so it's not a huge deal. But I try to be cognizant of when I'm saying what so that everybody else doesn't miss it. I've got some good stuff on deck. We have a whole separate a whole new uh most disturbing Reddit threads, blah 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 blah. So that's gonna be good. But anyway, ad is hopefully over for everyone else. We should all be back and present. So Cushing's, I've heard of Cushing's, and that would not be good. Well, hopefully you don't. I mean, they said that you need more testing, right? You need more testing. So you might, but it requires more testing. And also, you've lived your whole life. If you do have it, you've lived your whole life with it. It's not something, well, I don't know too, I can't really speak to it all that much. It could be a progressive disease, and it probably is. Because I was gonna say, at least it's not like cancer where you get told that you have it, and then now you know your life is going to get progressively worse. Cushing's might be that way. But anyway, I always say this, do not get too wrapped up in what it might be until you know what it is, and then you deal with it. But again, I'm glad you're starting to get some answers. That is a positive note. I mean, was that the positive note? Because you said it was a mix of bad news and good news. So is this a situation where you've got the only good news is that you have some kind of answer, and the bad news is that it's not good news? Anyway, Lee, I'm very glad to be back, and I'm glad to see you back. Othello says, it only sucks when you're mid-sentence and I'm focused on what you're saying. So, all the time. How sweet of you. I love that. So many fun stories to catch you up on. Good. I'm glad that there's many good stories to catch me up on. You're gonna have to start hitting me with them. You're definitely gonna have to start hitting me with them. I am looking forward to it because just as much as I am excited, you know, to be back with you guys, I'm also equally as curious as to what's been going on your end, you know. And when you're saying that you're focused on what I'm saying and I'm in mid-sentence and then it goes away, are you referring to um the ads? I think that's what you were referring to. Well, anyways, if you guys don't know, yeah, the commercials. Okay, good. If any of you guys aren't on the same page as Othello or are new to the situation, here on Twitch, if you have Amazon Prime, you can just literally subscribe to my Twitch for free, if you have Amazon Prime. So that will get rid of the ads for you entirely. You won't have to deal with them again. Um, so Rivers says, Catherine says, it's so hard to call you Catherine because I know you reversed your symptoms of PCOS and you don't have diabetes. And that was just through the 3 months of 25-pound weight loss. Is that the situation? Like, is that how you did it? Because I mean, dramatic weight loss can absolutely be the reason for reversal of diabetes type 2. I believe I believe you would have had type 2 because I don't think that type 1 is even reversible. I think type 1 is irreversible. So, Othello, you got me. Commercials indeed. Remy says, I've had a bad week. I've been struggling from mental health, I'm assuming is what MH is the acronym for. I will say this. Yeah, I I feel you on that. I think that life and like each like we're all characters in a movie or a book. We all are, right? We all have a origin story. We all have a character arc. Um, there are protagonists. Sometimes sometimes we're the bad guy. Sometimes we're the good guy. We have all these different challenges that we have to surmount, even when the challenges appear and seem to be insurmountable, insuperable. But life, at least what makes it truly life as we know it, it's about the problems that could have completely destroyed you and taken you down, completely taken you down. But you actually surmounted those problems, got through them, and came out the other side a better person. I mean, that's why we love movies so much. That's why we love books so much, is because you get your character's origin story, and there might be multiple characters, but either way, the character arc is always they have a problem, they have a challenge, they have some kind of antagonist working against them, and they have to somehow surmount that obstacle, that person, that challenge, and come out the other side a at least, even if they don't beat the person, they've got to come through the other side and they're changed. But anyway, it's hard. Life is hard. Life is nothing but challenges. Life is mostly suffering. And something that's interesting, about suffering is that, well, even just the act of desiring something is suffering. Like wanting something that you don't have is a form of suffering. And as humans, most of the time, we constantly are wanting things. Constantly. That's why I always recommend meditation, number one, because it's the one time in your day that you can actually get rid of wanting things for a time. You're just completely okay the way that you are for a set amount of time that you do this for. But anyway, like right now, I want water, like I I want to be, financially sound in my life. I would like to have some dinner. I would like to be a little bit more comfortable in this chair. I would like more of the community to be here in this, like all of these things are desires, and all are a form of suffering. And as you get rid of those things more and more, as you just become okay with the way that things are, you alleviate a lot of suffering. But there are also things, of course, mental health wise, that are different than simple desires, of course, because suffering is not comprised of simply just simple desires or complex desires. Um, so, anyway, I'm just going off on a monologue here. The case in point is that I'm sorry to hear that your mental health is kind of waning right now, and I hope that it gets better. I really do. I've had a series of challenges this past month. Not even just like part of it, of course, as I explained before, was me trying to catch up on all this video work for the community, for you guys, and just as adjunct content of the stream. But it's also just been a series of other challenges that I've been dealing with as well. So like I get you when it like I am not immune to mental health struggles. And it's not so much like I have a mental health disorder. It's just more along the lines of like challenges arise and they challenge, my good mental health levels. They challenge my good mental health levels and, make me want to be stressed and upset and sidetracked and, there's just so much to it. Yeah, Lee, we've been waiting on that surgery for a hot minute. It's been a while. I've been waiting on that surgery for a while. We're also waiting on that documentary, Lee. That's another thing we're waiting on. Ivy. Well, Ivy's in here somewhere. I know that she is. I just don't know where she is though. That's that's kind of whoa. That's kind of the issue. I don't know where she is. certainly hope to see you again soon, Remy, as well. I hope you have a great sleep. Sleep is good for the mental health, so that's good. April 29th, Lee. That's great. Good deal. Yeah. Yeah, Catherine, like simple simple modifications to your diet are massive, number one. Like simple in terms of I am no longer going to I'm no longer going to consume sugar, or I'm going to consume less sugar, or I'm going to focus on consuming less simple carbohydrates and focus more on consuming more complex carbohydrate. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do with your diet, right? But even just picking one tenant to live by and really adhering to it can be incredibly life changing. And you've also committed to walking to work a lot, even just taking a walk and doing this on the daily. You're expending calories. You're doing exactly what you need to do. Um, and I think, yeah, like the first solid amount of weight that you lose usually is going to be the easiest and the most dramatic because you've made this big change, and then you now see like water weight coming off, and that that goes fast. And then it's a little bit more work after that. Like you'll see, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be right now or soon, but it's at some point it will sort of plateau, and then you'll make a little more modification and you'll keep going for as long as you want to lose weight. Yeah. And Catherine, you've mentioned that you have started to feel better too. That's another huge thing that a lot of people don't think about, is that it's not just about it's not just about when it comes to like a mental health struggle, or feeling upset, or have not feeling great in your life. Maybe you feel a little depressed. It's not clinically depressed, but it's, you're not feeling great. Well, there are multiple variables that play directly into this that you could probably just solve it without medication entirely, you know? So, how much sleep are you getting? What quality is that sleep? What is your diet like? And are you exercising? Three core tenets of overall health, you know? You can solve a lot of problems by dialing those things in. Less tired, more energy. Exactly. If you are overweight to any degree, um, you can experience, yeah, a significant drop in energy compared to someone that isn't. Um, even just your heart is working to pump blood and nutrients and keep alive, and just working hard to keep alive someone that is bigger than that heart was really designed to keep alive. And that heart has to pump all of this blood and nutrients out to all of your extremities, but also all the capillaries and everything on you. So the more weight that you lose, the better it is for your heart and just all of you. Yeah, the clothes. Yes, indeed. The clothes is a big one. That's where you really notice it. Because, like, with mental health, it kind of is kind of gradual in a lot of cases. Like, it can be very gradual, so that you don't notice it as blatantly as your clothes. Because you you try to throw on some clothes, and all of a sudden, they really don't fit anymore, and that's awesome. That's awesome. Whereas with mental health, it's like it's so subtle. You just gradually start to get better over 3 months in your case, that it's not so simple as one day I just feel so much better. My energy levels are, it's gradual. And that's good. Start buying yourself some smaller clothes, and that will be even greater. I mean, hey, the loose fit is good too. My sweatshirt is kind of loose fit. Nothing wrong with that. Like my sweatshirt is pretty big on purpose. But so maybe that look is good. But for other clothes that you don't want to fit loosely, then you can buy yourself some smaller clothes that fit better, and then you're really keeping yourself in that lane of keeping yourself down. And that's awesome that you've been staving off the energy drinks, Lee. That's really, really good. Really good. 4 months. Wow. Yeah. That doesn't mean that caffeine is the enemy. It's not. Um, and really, most substances, most drugs of any kind, all that sort of stuff, they're not the enemy. They are just a chemical compound. You can choose to do with it what you will, and you can abuse it or not. Caffeine is a situation where you can abuse it, you can get really addicted to it, and it can be bad, and it can really affect your sleep too. It can affect your paranoia and so many other things. However, you could find caffeine in you could use caffeine in better formats. So like you've got coffee, you've got yerba mate, you've got green tea, things like that. So you you can still consume caffeine, but energy drinks are probably the worst way to consume them. And a big reason for that is the sugar, I guess. Now, granted, depending on the energy drink, there may be no sugar, in which case you've got a stronger argument to say that they're really not all that bad, as long as you're not consuming them late into the day. If you're consuming them late into the day, then there is a strong argument against that. What are you doing? Where is she, dude? I don't know where she is. That is incredible. That is incredible, Rivers. I'm glad that you've introduced one of your male best friends to my music. I love to hear that. That is so amazing. And um, number two, also, is that the friend? Is that the friend that was going to come visit you that one time, but then he couldn't due to some reason, but then he still came like later? or something. Is that the guy? Because I think he was a very like good friend of yours or something like that. But I don't know. Maybe he wasn't like your male best friend. Maybe he was a different because there was because remember we were talking about again my memory with you guys specifically is very very good. So this was one of your male friends that lived on basically the other side of Canada, remember? And he was traveling to go see you. Remember that guy? He's a friend from your hometown, but he moved all the way out east, out where I'm at. Obviously, I'm not in Canada, but this side of the continent anyway. So maybe it's that guy, maybe it's not. Maybe that guy is the guy over that moved out east is not your best friend, and this other guy is your best friend, and I haven't heard about him yet. Either way, amazing. I'm glad to hear it. I'm gonna locate Ivy real quick. Hold on.
Hi, can you come say hi to the people?
She was sleeping. She was sleeping, so she's just trying to wake up. But I just wanted I just wanted to make sure she said hello because it's been a long time since you've seen her as well. Uh, when you have to take one of your meds at 11:30, it plays one of my songs. That's freaking amazing. That's freaking amazing, Lee. I love that. I love that I am your medication alarm. Incredible. That brings a smile to my mouth. The saying is bringing a smile to my face, but I mean, technically it is my mouth, right? And yes, she says hello, Lee and Rivers. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Let me see here. And that's also amazing, Catherine Rivers, that you listen to my music always on the way to work. I am a part, in some small way, in some small way, I am a part of your weight loss journey, right? That's incredible. Yes, indeed. Do, 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 do. Wasted Alien, welcome to the stream. And it's great to have you here, a part of the Twitch community as well. Now, I believe Wasted Alien, if my memory serves me correct, is Dana. I think we've got Dana on board on the stream. That's great. That is great. And yes, Rivers, let's go. Indeed. Anyways, anyways. So I mean I'm pretty sure other than I think other than Othello and Dana, I have heard as far as everybody in here that's in the chat at least, I have heard how you've been, how you're doing, what the big news is. I think we're fairly caught up. We're 36 minutes into the stream currently. Excuse me. And this is amazing. This is amazing. It's good to be caught up with you. Dana's here because she woke up too early. I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. That's good news to me. Like, I'm happy about it. Luna is here too. No shit. Oh my goodness. Luna has made it. Welcome back, Luna. Welcome back as well to you. Oh man. Um, I think I think for most of you, I think for most of you, there is an ad occurring right now, so I'm going to wait a second. If if you're not having an ad occur to you right now, then you let me know in the chat. But I'm pretty sure that from what I'm seeing on the dashboard, that there's um, an ad running. So I'll keep it. I won't say too much more until it's over. But yeah, no ad for Lee. Good deal. I'm surprised. I'm legitimately surprised because yeah, like you might just get it in a second. I don't know. Maybe you'll get it like a couple minutes after everybody else. But of course, if the ads bother you, you can subscribe to Twitch here. You can subscribe to my Twitch, or if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to my Twitch for free. That will get rid of the ads 100%. Now, if you don't have ads, somehow, magically, they will happen. I promise. It's probably, for you, Dana, it might just be because you just joined the stream. Who knows? But anyway, Luna's coming in with a super cool badge on her name because she has always been such a great Bits supporter in the Twitch streams. So love that. But yes, Luna, of course I missed you. I missed everybody. It's been a minute since I've even had Dana here in the stream with us. Incredible. Incredible. And even Lee, like Lee hasn't been able to be in the streams a lot too because a lot of the past streams I've done have been so late. And same with Othello. Othello's been here. She hasn't been able to be. It's been incredible. I've missed all of you. But specifically to answer your question, Luna, of course I have missed you. Come on now. Come on now. I wish you didn't have to go to work, Dana. I really wish you didn't. Exactly, Rivers. So many beautiful women back here in the stream. I am loving it. I am so happy to see it. Yeah, but you're always here, Rivers. You're always here. You're always here. You might fall asleep on the stream at some point or another, but you're always here, you know? I sure freaking hope so. I hope you've missed me. You'd better. You better miss me. After all we've been through together. And it's not just me, it's everyone, you know? Because when you miss me, it's like, it's not just missing me, like Rivers said, it's like everyone. So, yeah. Okay, well, we have a couple, since we have a couple new members of the community in here. Um, I did just hit my hydrate for you, Luna, by the way. Channel points redeemed. Thank you for the hydrate redemption. And I hope you saw me drink the water. Um, but of course, we've all been through a lot, especially at this point when, you know, other than a select few amount of people, it's been, this is crazy to think about, guys. But in 4 months, some of you, like, I want to say like Luna, I know Rivers, but I want to say Luna as well. Um, it will have been a year since you've joined the community, I'm pretty sure. Because in 4 months it will be July. And that's insanity. Like that's actually crazy to think about. But it's true. It's true. And a lot happens in a year. So of course we've all been through a lot. And we've been through a lot together. We've had so many things happen during the stream. We have so much stream lore. We have so many things that only us know, that we've talked about. Crazy things that have happened during the streams, but also just things that have happened in our lives, that you've come to the stream and talked about, or I've talked about it with you, and all these different things. So, and the only reason I've been gone is just to catch up on all the backlog of videos that I have to catch up on since I've started, um, doing a lot of stream adjacent content. Once I'm caught up on that stuff, I can start getting back to the TikTok streams and also the gaming streams. But for right now, I'm just doing until I catch up. I couldn't stay away any longer. Couldn't. It just kills me to be away from you guys. It's not by choice. Like it's not because I want to anyway. It's just because I'm trying to catch up on stuff. And um the good thing is my YouTube streams and my just chatting Twitch streams, those are very easy for me to stay caught up on. I am caught up on those, so I have no problem. Because if I go back to the Twitch streams right now and I go back to the gaming streams right now, I'll be just adding to my backlog and that will stress me out and I'll just be even further behind, so I can't be doing that. So this is why we're here right now. But yeah, but yeah. In July it will be a year, indeed. I don't think so, Luna, because um I didn't start streaming on TikTok until July. So I don't think so. I don't think so. Who just subbed? It didn't even tell us who subbed. Who subbed? Who just subscribed here on Twitch? But yeah, Luna, in July, if you started joining the streams within the first month that I started on TikTok, then it would be July. And so in 4 months, it will be a year for all of you guys, which is amazing. There are a select few amount of people that would have been a part of my streaming community that have stuck with me for years, multiple years. People like Amira. You've seen Amira plenty in the Discord lately and in the Twitch streams. Patty, who is in and out. People like that who have been here for years, literally years. But that was back when I was doing that. That's when I was starting doing Instagram streams and things like that. Yeah. And then after that was Twitch streams, and then I stopped for a while, and then I came back on the TikTok streams. And now, ever since then, I've been doing a mix of those. So yeah. Who subbed? Is no one going to tell me? I would love to thank you for the sub. That was amazing. Oh. No, it does count though. Well, I mean, it's a resub. Thank you for the resub, Othello. But no, somebody else is subbed because I saw I could have sworn that I saw that you were already subscribed, Othello, um, to begin with. But maybe not. Maybe somebody else was subbed and yours needed to be renewed, and you just gave us the new sub because I saw my subs go up when that just happened. I don't know. I don't know. Either way, thank you for the resub, Othello. Um, Amira, number one fan. Thank you so much, Amira. Again, like I said, so much love to you. And I, like I said, I know you are one of the few that have been with me for years, part of the stream community. You are a veteran just like Patty, and that's amazing. I appreciate you very much. And yeah, like I was saying, and this coming July, which is so close now, craziness. We're already in spring, guys. The last time we streamed, we were still kind of technically in winter. And now here we are in spring together. And we'll be coming up on a year, like really soon for a lot of you. Uh, and some of you are super new still. But Othello says I got the notification that I had to renew it and I got a random ad. I was so confused. Okay, so it must have been you. Yeah, yours ran out. Somebody else, other people were subscribed and you weren't. Okay, gotcha. You still had the Prime sub badge on your thing, so I don't know what was going on with that. Othello's also got her founder badge, which I love to see. Um, I'm surprised Luna doesn't have that too, because Luna was subbed for a time, I'm pretty sure, on Twitch. Luna was subbed here on Twitch for a time, and um, which would make her a founder. But Othello is definitely a founder as well, because she's been subbed forever.
Hi, would you like to come up?
Come on. Come on. Okay, I guess not. Well, I'll bring you her. If you guys missed her, I did bring her here at one point. During this stream, I did bring her here. I don't know if you missed her. But here she is again. She's tired. You can tell. She's just like, put me down. Put me down. Please. Right now, please. Don't do this to me right now. But she was like sitting right next to my chair, like being like, uh, just kind of looking at me. So I don't know. Making ice cream. So you were like doing it up? Because like I've got to dig into this a little bit. I've got to dig into that statement a little bit. So usually ice cream consists of tub, scoop, bowl, but you're making it. So were you like actually making? Are you kidding? Are you joking? Raw ingredients and all? Or you're being serious? Because that's quite something. Because like that's sick. You have an ice cream machine. You were literally making it. Nice. Yeah. So like because then the other option would have been, of course, like, yes, tub, scoop, bowl, but then you like add toppings onto it and stuff like that. That could have been making as well. But that's cool. It's the only way. Yes, right. So how do you make it? If you're lactose intolerant, then um, good night, Lee. Sorry I missed that first message. Have a good night, Lee. I'm sorry you're so tired, Dana, also. Yes, Ivy has missed all of you as well, Rivers, and all of you. Um, oh, sick. I love that so much. Well, you know I love that. Plant-based Jackson over here. That warms my heart immensely, more than you know. But um I know you're just forced to do it that way. But I'm still happy about it. I'm happy that you're forced to do it that way. Technically, it's not the only way. I mean, you could there's plenty of good non-dairy ice creams because of course, you know me. I've tried them. Well, I mean, I guess you don't 100% know that. I'm kind of a healthy person, but in the past I have tried non-dairy ice cream. And I'm not just talking gelato or sherbet or anything. Like I'm talking they're like that sort of stuff that you're making. But as with most things, I think when you make it yourself to the exact specifications that you want it to be, that's the best way to do it. Dana, you still haven't showed me. You still haven't showed me or us the tattoo. But I told you you could show us. And yeah, the artificial flavor. Well, I think there's plenty especially when you get into the non-dairy that would be natural flavoring, I'm sure. But again, making it your own is going to be the best way to do it. And it will be I mean, it will be not only like the least amount of ingredients from scratch, but also the flavoring ingredients. Like if you wanted chocolate ice cream, you could use like 100% cacao powder and get all the antioxidants from that. Like it's just incredible. Like now you're making me think like you could almost make ice cream sort of healthy. Like it can't be, like it inherently can't be, but you could make it pretty darn close to almost being called healthy. Like just in terms of there's a huge difference between store-bought ice cream and what the potential of what you could make at home. Anyway, incredible. That's amazing. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And technically, honey is glucose. Like sugar is glucose, honey is glucose. So the end result is sugar, but I wonder how sugar substitutes would go over. I wonder, like I'm just curious. I'm genuinely curious. I don't know. Maybe you should try it or I will for you. I'll get a friggin' ice cream machine, but I mean that would be so in depth for me. I'll have to let you do it because I would just be getting it to make it once and then that would be it probably. But yeah. Yeah, I've tried many different substitutes. For like sugar substitutes like monk fruit extract. That's what you should try, Othella. Try monk fruit extract. It is it's not on the glycemic index like basically at all. It's like a sugar alcohol, so it doesn't your body doesn't see it as sugar, but it's incredibly sweet and you only have to use a tiny amount. Look into it. Look into it. It's a natural sugar substitute as well. Anyways, okay, so Dana did post the tattoo. Okay, let me see if I can see it. Let me see it. Oh my goodness, it's the Scream character with the knife and stuff. That's super cool, and that's really well done, Dana. I love it. That's really awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, Lady Oliver, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Lady Oliver, remind me what your name is. Is that Angela? It's your first message in the stream, so I can't really purport to know who you are exactly. But let me know who I would know you as, please. Oh, Nancy, yes, yes. Lady Oliver, Nancy, yes. Got it. I remember. I remember now 100%. Great. Great to have you here, Nancy. Good to see you. And yes, please do send me updates with all. That'd be incredible. Pixie, what's going on? I believe Pixie is Pastel Halo on Discord, right? Lexi? Remind me, please. It's been a while since I've seen good old Pixie here in the Twitch stream. And thank you, Nancy. But yes, Nancy was saying that she's very familiar with sugar substitutes, so that's good. That's good. Ice cream making contest? That'd be sick. That would be sick. I'd be down. Amira says you said when you listen to music, you listen to it differently than most. Can you explain how your brain works when you listen to music? Um, yeah, I don't listen to music differently than all people, but I listen to it differently compared to a lot of people just because when I listen to music, I'm typically listening to like I typically care about the instrumental and the lyrical melodies, and I care virtually none for the lyrical content. So when it comes to what the lyrics are actually saying, I care none. Essentially, I mean, a little bit, but basically none. So when it comes to listening to music, I'm listening to it from a musician's perspective where I'm just listening to how the drums and guitar, or if it's EDM, just the rhythm and the melody. Like that's basically how we have to approach this, because I don't just listen to drums, guitar, bass, full band sort of music. I listen to, you know, multiple different kinds of music. So to really get super basic with it, I'm listening to just the the melody and the rhythm and the lyrical melody and how that interplay occurs with the instrumental, and that's basically it from a really top down, um macroscopic perspective. So, there are plenty of other people that listen to music that way, but they typically aren't, it's not as common. It's not as common. And usually they're musicians as well. In a lot of cases, I think in my experience, people really, really, really love the lyrics, and that's just not something that matters all that much to me when I listen to music. It's also what comes last in terms of when I'm writing music. When I'm writing music, the lyrics typically come last. I figure out all of the lyrical melodies before I've even figured out what the words are going to say on top of those lyrical melodies. And the syllables that I'm using in terms of, like, because syllables are rhythmic, you know? So the rhythmic, syllables behind the lyrical melodies. Yeah. Oh, and Othello. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to mention. Yeah, it's been interesting. It got a little bit warm, then it snowed, then it got a little bit warm again, then it snowed. So it's the same for me. Like, it's not perfectly spring. It's not perfectly spring, but like it's technically spring. March is the first month of spring, but we are still getting snow here too. But it is markedly warmer, like noticeably. So there is that. But yes, I hope you can find some once the blizzard clears. I'm glad you love it, Dana, because that's what matters the most. That's what matters the most. Yeah, I wish you didn't have to get ready, Dana. I wish you could just be here with us. With us, with us, with us. And not have to leave us. Yeah. Which is surprising, Dana, because normally you have very similar weather to me, where you are. So there's been a couple of days this month where it's been like hot, which I'm happy to say. Because here's the thing, guys. I always said I love the winter, right? I love the fall. I love the cold, but I don't love the spring. So when it comes to the spring, I it's just like mud. Because where we have all the snow is just melting. So all it is mud and kind of gross and rain. And that's what we got. So I would just like it to, at this point, I would kind of just like it to be warm. That would be nice. Not hot, but warm. Luna says it's a weird in between here. Every other day is hot and then freezing. That's what I'm saying. Like that's actually what I'm saying. It's like the same here. Some days it's really quite cold. Other days it's hot. Not as hot as the summer, but like decently warm, you know. Your stomach is hurting, Dana. Great. Well, good. That means you don't have to go to work and you can just stay here on the stream with me. Sounds good. Let's go. Let's go. That's a good question, Amira. I don't know if I've ever been asked that on stream. Anyway, I don't think I've ever been asked that on stream. The answer to that question, maybe I have, maybe I have, maybe once or twice, but it's not a common one. And the answer is four. Four. Second favorite number? Two. 13's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. So why two? I don't know. I I actually have no idea why. Cause like my number one favorite number is four, but my second favorite number is two. And I can't really give you logical reasons as to why. And I mean there's no like real super logical answer as to why my favorite color is orange either. You know? It's just like a preference sort of question. But I really prefer even numbers. So like, like I feel like a lot of people have gone through this where um you like when you're in the car with someone or your own car, let's say, and somebody turns up the radio and they stop. If you're an even number person like me, they stop on like 23. Like you really want them to go to like 24 or 25. Because like I also like just really nice evenly divisible numbers. Um so like I love the number 4, I love the number 2. So like in sports, like when I played soccer all my life, my number was usually either 2, 4 or 24. Never 42, but either 2 or 4 or 24. And again, just preference. And then again, also when I'm like choosing numbers in terms of like volume sliders and things like that, it's either um multiples of five, like 5, 10. or like 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2. I wouldn't say that I like two, like I wouldn't go to like 2.4 or 4.2. Like I would always choose like 4.5 or 5 or 5.5 or 6. So it depends on the context, but just straight up favorite number, long story short, 4. Good luck on Friday the 13th. Yeah, Friday the 13th just occurred a few days ago, Dana. Luna likes 3 because it's balanced, one on either side and one in between. That's a good one. I see you. I see that. I'm glad the boys have come to visit. Love that. Rivers! Sorry your tattoo is itchy, Dana. That's always a struggle. Always a struggle with a new one. 47. That's a good one. That's a good one. Very good one, Amira. Did I ever finish my book? Yes. Whatever book you are referring to, um, can you do you remember which one you're talking about? Do you remember which book that was? And um, secondary question is, oh no, I don't have a secondary question. Do you remember what book it was? And the other thing is, yes, I have, ever since I last spoke about whatever book I was reading. I mean, I've finished multiple books since I've even last streamed. So for those of you that have me on Goodreads, you know that. You know that. I probably finished like 5 or 6 books since I even did the last stream. But yes, I finished the entire series. So the first like string of fiction, I believe I was reading, it was probably like I don't know, maybe it was the Aragon series that I was reading at the time when I said that, Othello. Um, but yes, I finished all those books, including all of the sort of ancillary side books off of that primary series as well. So yeah, I finished them, and now I'm on to a new series, which is also fiction. So I'm going through a I'm just trying to get all of the fiction books that I have wanted to read for a while, and I'm just reading them all. Just reading them all because I want to get them done. I enjoy them. It's just not my typical literature, and it's not typically what I read and what I go for, but I'm on a fiction bender right now, and that's what I'm doing. But yes, I probably fiction binge. Yes, exactly. And so that's what I'm doing, and it's been great. It's been great. I've been having a good time with it. River's lucky number is 8 because it reminds me of the infinity symbol, and there's a lot of meaning behind that. Yeah, the 8 does look like the infinity symbol if you just do this. If you just turn it, turn it just a little bit. 90 degrees. Sounds good, Dana. Have fun making that coffee. Luna's been working on a painting today. The sun and the moon. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Read us fantasy books. Well, and I'll cosplay. There would probably have to be fantasy books that are that kind of fantasy where you like actually have an elf involved, right? I'm assuming that's kind of what you're requesting. It couldn't just be a random fantasy book that has nothing to do with elves, right? Either way, I'm happy to do that. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Imagine if that's just what the stream was. Lord of the Rings, of course. I have the whole box set behind me, guys. It's the one box set of books that I have on my shelf. So that's funny. I'm glad you would melt from that, Luna. Yeah, that would be wild if I just read books on stream. If I just pulled the mic closer and got it like right up, like so it was because like honestly, the mic is the mic is so much better than if I was just using like my, a standard microphone, like from my computer or something. Like obviously this mic is amazing. And as you guys know, as I've said a million times, it's what I use to record all my music for you guys too. So it's the best it could possibly be. But um it's doing half duty because technically it's this far away from me. I'm touching it right now. Actually, I probably just blocked half of what I was saying, but it's this far away from me. So when I'm up, like actually up against it, and I've got the pop filter in front of it that I use for my music, um, then we'd really be talking like really in depth. Like when you listen to a book, when you listen to an audiobook, we'd be talking better than audiobook quality because my audio bit rate on this stream is ridiculous. The quality would be incredible. It sounds so good. Amir says, please. And Lady Oliver says, some do. So some do read on stream. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it 100%. Othello's down. Storytime with Jackson, the audiobook series. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Could be a possibility. What's the legality behind that? Because I'm not technically authorized to be. That's one thing I never looked into was what the legality behind that is. You know, I don't think I could keep myself together if you do that, says Luna. Just reading? Well, that's great. Yeah, look it up, Othella. I'm gonna hit you guys with a quick commercial break while I hit the bathroom super quick. So give me just a minute, 60 seconds to hit the bathroom super quick. Enjoy some commercials or something. Maybe you won't get them if you're subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, again, if you have Amazon Prime, you can just subscribe to my channel here on Twitch for free. It will skip all the ads for you. Otherwise, Othello will be looking up what sort of if I could technically read a book on stream legally. We'll see. Be right back. In elf ears, that would be quite something. That would be quite something. Right. And public domain is pretty, for things to be in the public domain, that's pretty old, I'm pretty sure. Like, Lord of the Rings is pushing it. Lord of the Rings is early 20th century, or maybe mid 20th century, maybe. I don't think Lord of the Rings would fall into that. Again, like, I love books that are mad old. I've read a lot of them already. So I would have no problem reading books that are for sure in the public domain. Lots of classic literature is. Um, However, Lord of the Rings, I feel like, is probably not. Maybe it is though. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, like Frankenstein. Some like I've shown you guys some of my cloth bound books behind me. Some of those cloth bound books, I mean, actually all of my cloth bound books are public domain, like 100% public domain books. Um, yeah, I think one of them's Dostoevsky and the other one's Homer. So definitely doable. I don't have Frankenstein, but I could get it. I could get it. And when will you take the MBTI? Remind me. Remind me sooner. Um, Next stream, remind me sooner when we have more time. Because right now we're getting shorter and shorter on time as we go along right now. So I wouldn't want to do it right now during this stream, but soon, soon. I don't think I've read that one, Luna. That sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds like a good one. I would be down, like for real. I would be. And for something such as that, it would be totally fine to pop the mic closer, pop the pop filter, and just kind of I'd probably have to kind of talk more like this or like a little bit um obliquely to the camera because I wouldn't want to like have the mic directly so you couldn't see me at all because with the pop filter too you just wouldn't be able to see me at all, but I'd go like that and we would do that. And yes, Othello, that's one of my cloth bounds is the Odyssey actually. And yeah, yeah, literally. So the Odyssey, the two like really nice cloth bound books I have um are the Odyssey and Crime and Punishment, Dostoevsky. So Greek mythology stories, we can make that happen. We can definitely make that happen. Who's my favorite Greek god and goddess? That used to be a lot easier for me to answer. When I was a kid, I used to have a book like a illustrated children's book. It was like big, like this big. It was like a rectangle, and I had it all figured out then. But now I'll give you a couple that I think of randomly. Probably like Apollo and Athena. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Yeah. Pride and Prejudice, a great book. I have read that one. I have read that one, and love that. Love that. And that's cool that you have a super old edition of it too, because I just have a newer edition, newer version. But I'll show you. I'll show you the. It's probably going to cause all these books to fall, though. That's the one problem. If I can tilt that so it doesn't. This is the one box set that I have is the Lord of the Rings. And as you can see, it's been thoroughly read. Like the spines are cracked. I wonder if I can see what the um published date on The Hobbit is, though. This book was purchased in like the early 2000s. I've had these books, this box set since I was a kid, and they smell so good. Mm. Yeah, 1937. 1937. What's the cutoff for public domain? That's a good question. Can somebody tell me? What um in 2026, here's the question. In 2026, what is the year that constitutes a piece of art automatically going into the public domain? That goes for music, that goes for books. What would it be? It's probably like 100 years or something like that. It might even be 150 years. So I think Lord of the Rings slash The Hobbit is not going to cut it for us. But anyways, I just wanted to show you the box set. This box set was released along with the movies. So you've got like all the characters from the movies. There's me. There's me right there. Yeah, 2050. So we've got a few years before I can read you The Lord of the Rings on stream, unless I get permission to read the audiobook for you, which that'd be cool. That'd be sick if I could. So 25, 25, 24, 25 years. So that would be um I would say it's about 100 years. So around 100 years is going to be the cutoff for public domain. That's what I'm gonna. That's what I'm gonna say. It's what I'm gonna guess. It's gonna be around the area. Okay. In 2030, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Bugs Bunny, along with Disney's Snow White, become public domain. 4 more years. Someday my music will be public domain. Someday my music will be public domain. And that will be 2120. I mean, depending on which song we're talking about. Like the only exception would be 2122. Yeah, 2122. The year 2122. Public domain occurs after the artist is dead. Always. After we're all dead. All of us. That's sad. That's sad to think about, but I'm gonna refill my water and lime, and then we are going to hit up the most disturbing 4chan threads part 3. 3! I know you guys have been waiting for this. And don't lie to me and tell me that you haven't been waiting for this, because I know you have. Because when I saw that there was a um disturbing 4chan threads part 3, I said I am so excited to watch that with Othello and Amira and Rivers and Luna and Nancy and Dana and everyone else. And everyone else. Those of you that I didn't mention, it's because I don't know if you're even still here or not. I haven't seen you in the chat. Othello Sanier, I know Othello's been excited for this. Othello loves these, and so do I. And fun fact, on the long form version of the Jackson Downer Clips YouTube channel, these disturbing 4chan threads videos do the best. Of like, people love these when we watch these on stream. Does it ever occur to me that my face is perfect? Well, thank you, number one. Number two, no, it doesn't, because I am like anyone else. I am my own worst critic. So I see all the flaws in myself. I am constantly, you know, overthinking how I look and wishing that I could look a little bit better in this department or in that department. You know what I mean? We all do that to ourselves all the time. But here's what does occur to me. My face could be worse. I could have a worse face, you know? Like I could be Like I can't argue and say that I'm a disgusting looking human being. I don't think I'm like horrendous looking or anything. I think I'm like a decent looking person, but at the same time, I don't think I look perfect, you know. But I am glad that you think so. If you really think so, then that's amazing. I'm happy to know that, and I'm glad that you do think that. I believe another ad is occurring. So while that ad occurs, for my subscribed folks right now, I'm going to change the stream category and get us set up on the YouTube. The YouTube. We do actually have quite the list of videos, but we're probably only going to get to one tonight. Well, thank you, Amira. I'm really glad that you think so. You know, that's an incredible compliment. It really, really actually is. Man, that's ridiculous. Come on. Why? There we go. Okay. Boom. Quickly change the streaming category. It helps that you think my face is perfect though, because um, you know, you have to watch me for hours, you know, like you are sitting here, staring at my face for an extended amount of time, so it's not a bad thing that you think that. There we go. Nancy says, at first it seems you would be arrogant, but it seems to be just the opposite. You would be correct. Yeah, you'd be correct. Very much, I'm very much not a conceited, arrogant person. I don't think there's anything attractive or good about being conceited and arrogant, nothing good about it. So I try to be humble and, like I'm not just faking it either. Like what I said is very true. I am my own worst critic and I do not think I'm perfect or, anything. I'm always trying to improve and I have to work really hard to even maintain the face that I have because on Twitch, we've got such good stream quality. Like you can see, I don't have perfect skin, perfect unblemished, skin or anything like that. I don't have a perfect face in many different ways, aside from just my skin. But for an example of me having to work very hard for certain things, like even just to have the skin that I have right now, I have quite the skincare routine, that I've put so much research and thought and time into every day that allows me to even just have the level of skin that I have right now, and other people don't have to do anything for their skin and they have just perfect, blemish free skin and they always have. Well, for me, it's always been a battle, you know, between and like my diet and my nutrition and my exercise are always good, always on point, but and so is my skincare. And so all I can do is just try and do the best that I can. But of course, I am always going to be my biggest critic. So that's just how it is. We all have our things that we kind of notice about ourselves that could be better. Um, but I just try to be happy with what I have, because we could all be a lot worse off than we are. And I certainly am, Nancy. Always warm, always welcoming. Unless I'm in like a terrible mood, which happens, I'm human. But let's do this thing. Six most disturbing 4chan threads. Folks, the sixth. Six. This is a lot. I think this is more than last time. I think last time it was five. So, anyways, six most disturbing 4chan threads. I'm gonna repeat that because it's bothering me that I keep misspeaking. The six most disturbing 4chan threads, part three. Let's go.
On November
Now, I just need to make sure we're coming through on the audio side.
29,
Yes, we are. Okay. Let's get it. And let's be our typical, you know me, you know Jackson. I'm going to be mad skeptical, as I always am.
On November 29, 2007, an anonymous 4chan user uploaded a disturbing post with the words, "If anyone can correctly guess their own post number, I will tell you where she is buried." Eerily, the post was accompanied by an image of a teenage girl. For context, on 4chan, each thread is assigned a unique post number, which is completely random and serves as an identifier for that specific post. These
Looks like a driver's license photo, by the way. I mean, that literally did look like a driver's license photo, right? I mean, that is a driver's license photo.
of a teenage girl, random, and serves as an identifier for that specific post. These kinds of posts where the OP would reward other users with something if they managed to guess their exact post number were pretty common, but the rewards themselves were rarely this dark and specific. You can probably understand how the creepy nature of this particular post instantly caught the attention of so many people. It's worth mentioning that the dates and times from the screenshots shown are the archive dates and times, meaning they're not accurate. But over the following minutes after the post was made, several other users jumped in to guess their post numbers. And just 15 minutes later, a user correctly guessed theirs. After which, the OP made good on their promise and said, "Winner, here you go," and then a set of coordinates.
WinRAR!
Strangely, the coordinates pointed to a pretty random patch of trees on the side of a county road about 50 miles east of El Dorado, Kansas. But as it was later revealed, there was nothing random about the location. The girl in the image in the anonymous user's post was 18-year-old Emily Sander, a Butler Community College student who had gone missing a little less than a week before the disturbing post was made.
Oh, great.
Shockingly, the police found Sander's partially clothed body around an hour after the coordinates were revealed at the exact coordinates provided by the user.
Oh, great.
It's important to mention that by the time the uploader revealed the coordinates on 4chan, the cops had already been investigating Emily's disappearance for a few days, and they were already zeroing in on a suspect. As the investigation had revealed, Emily had disappeared on November 23rd of that year after leaving a bar outside El Dorado with a man named Israel Mirales. According to two witnesses, Israel had bought Emily and her friends drinks at a Chinese restaurant in El Dorado before accompanying them at a bar called The Retreat. After the two left the bar, Emily was never seen alive again. Following the finding of some pretty compelling evidence of Israel's involvement in Emily's disappearance, the authorities put out a warrant for his arrest. But by then, Israel had already fled to Mexico. Fortunately, due to the severity of the crimes, the cops were able to extradite him back to.
He fled to Mexico. Of course he did. Who else would incriminate themselves and be like, "Hey, if you guess the number of this post, I'm going to I'm gonna let you know exactly where I buried this girl that I murdered." Yeah, of course. But they extradited him back, so you lose.
Kansas for interrogation. During his testimony, the suspect claimed that after they had left the bar, he and Emily had gone back to a motel room together. According to his version of the events, at one point in the night, another man had shown up at the motel room and tried to rob him, after which he allegedly left the motel alone. When he came back a few hours later, Sanders was supposedly dead. This story is already kind of hard to believe, especially when you factor in that after allegedly finding the lifeless victim in the room, Israel claimed that he panicked, put her body in the trunk of his car, and headed to a house where his 16-year-old pregnant girlfriend was staying in nearby Baxter Springs. Again, this was already a huge stretch, and it didn't exactly help Israel's case that investigators found a large knife and
What? 16-year-old pregnant girlfriend. What? Well, maybe the age of consent is 16 in Kansas. Maybe it is, but I don't maybe I don't know. But that's strange. I mean, that is strange in itself, and then the fact that he went straight there is strange in itself. I mean, as our good friend Chilling Scares is telling us right now, it's a stretch. So let's not read too deeply into it yet.
clothing with his DNA in a trash can at his girlfriend's home in Baxter Springs. When it was more than obvious that Israel was responsible for the crime, a judge sentenced him to life in prison without parole. As for the 4chan thread, I couldn't find any official confirmation that the post was uploaded by Israel. And it's worth mentioning that because the coordinates were revealed a little under an hour before the cops officially announced where they had found Emily, the thread could have been opened by someone on the police force who knew about the location before the public. Still, there's a very real possibility that the 4chan post was uploaded by the killer himself, adding an even more disturbing layer to an already horrific crime.
Now, this one, it does seem reasonable that the actual perpetrator did make this post, and obviously the murder did actually happen. So there is a good chance that this one is legit, especially since it was posted an hour before they found him. I I'm not sure. Who
On
knows?
August 25, 2009, a 4chan user opened a thread with the title, "Look What I Found." The caption read, "So, I was looting through some stuff my dad left when he died, and I found this. The old bastard had a live grenade. It seems kinda old, but looks okay to me. What would the random board do with it?"
Really? Like this is 4chan at its finest. This is 4chan at its finest, guys. Hey, I found a live grenade. What do you guys want me to do with it? Like in what was it? In part 1, the dude was like, "Hey, um so whatever you guys tell me to do, if you want me to cut off," like he showed his big toe in the post, and he was like, "Whatever you guys say, I'll do." And they told him to cut it off, and then he cut his big toe off. Like, this is the same sort of vibe. This is the same sort of energy, and it is just craziness. Like, what are you doing?
Next to the caption was an image of the OP's hand holding what appeared to be a live grenade. For the next 15 minutes, the thread was flooded with all kinds of comments from users all around the world, with some claiming that the grenade was fake and asking the uploader for proof that it was made out of real metal and wasn't just a plastic imitation.
Yeah, for real.
Let me see the bottom of it. Bottom. It's plastic, lol. No plastic, dimwit, it's all metal. With this comment, the OP included an image of himself holding up a lighter to a grenade, which
You're you're holding a lighter to a grenade. This person cares this much about their life. This much about their life. Literally zero about their life or whoever is in that house with them. What What? What? I mean, I guess if it's really metal, it wouldn't it but still, it's a live grenade. You're not going to hold a flame to a live grenade, okay? And also, if any of you guys have ever held a lighter to something plastic, you would know that it doesn't just immediately catch fire or melt immediately. Like, you can hold the lighter there for a minute until it starts to change. until the plastic's form starts to change a little bit. So I don't know how much the lighter method is really proving anything.
Is obviously a horrific idea. Still, it was nothing compared to what was coming. Disturbingly, some of the other commenters encouraged the poster to throw the grenade in the toilet, saying things like, "Toss in toilet, don't flush, wait for epic fountain." You would think
Really?
that the OP would be able to interpret the comment as a joke, but sure enough, a few minutes later he posted another image, this time showing his hand holding the live grenade over the toilet along with the caption, should I? This is where the story gets pretty disturbing.
This is what here's what I don't understand. Why? Like, why? What are you getting out of this? You're not getting money out of this. You're not getting any recognition. Like, you're an anonymous poster on 4chan. No one cares or knows who you are. You are not like there's no financial incentive. There's no incentive of any kind that would be worth this. If this is a real grenade. Like, if this isn't a real grenade, I can understand all of the incentives. You're getting the whole internet riled up and crazed up about this situation that isn't real at all. Now that's pretty funny. You're trolling 4chan. Okay. But if this is legit, there is no reason for you to have even started this thing. It's so dumb.
After posting this image, the OP suddenly went silent. Over the following minutes, other commenters jumped in to ask him what he ended up doing with the grenade, but there was no response from the OP.
He
Shortly
died.
after, a commenter uploaded a screenshot of an article that had been published by a news station
No! No! This can't be
in
real.
Guatemala that same day. Chillingly, the article broke the story of a 17-year-old boy named Oscar Lopez who had passed away after detonating a live grenade in the bathroom of his house.
But that style of grenade isn't that style of grenade American style? Like, I don't think in Guatemala they have that style of fragmentation grenade, you know? Like, I'm pretty positive that that style of grenade is unique to America. However, maybe it isn't. And maybe his father received this grenade some other way. But um, hopefully, in the moments to come, we will see uh, if there's some proof. Like, maybe the bathroom in the photo is similar or something. If we can see in the remains, the ruins of the house, we'll see.
According to the article, the boy's dad had been involved in the military at some point, which explains why it was in his home. Because of the timing, most of the commenters concluded that Oscar Lopez was the OP and immediately condemned the users who encouraged him to throw the grenade in the toilet. In the weeks following the incident, several news stations from Spanish-speaking countries published the story, which brought a lot of attention to the original thread on 4chan. Over the years, the story of Oscar's grenade has been reposted all over the internet thousands of times. And it's made its way into dozens of YouTube videos covering the most disturbing incidents caused by online threads. However, through my research, I wasn't able to find the original article or anything that would indicate that the story was real. Even after spending
Yeah.
hours searching through online
Yeah.
archives, I found absolutely no trace of the original article, which suggests that the
Yeah.
article could have been faked. The only
Yeah.
articles I did find were the ones that were published after the incident and cited only the original, non-existent article as their source.
Ha!
It's also pretty suspicious that the article was allegedly published pretty much within an hour of the OP's last comment, which further supports the idea that the whole thing was faked. It's possible that the OP himself could have posted the photoshopped article screenshot from another account to get attention. Or that he could have made the original post and then went quiet to get a reaction from the crowd, after which another user could have jumped in to keep the story going with a fake news article. Although, it's still very possible this is real and the original article has just since been lost to time. Because the incident is over 15 years old at this point, we'll likely never know the whole truth.
I'll say it again. I say it every single disturbing 4chan video, and that is I love that Chilling Scares is a discerning individual. He is not like all those other channels that is automatically like, yes, this has to be real. Oh my God, it's so scary. Can you believe this actually happened? This is amazing. This is so crazy. Like, no, he can see that this is quite likely not real. And I can see it too, based on all the holes I've already poked in it. And now Chilling Scares is even seeing the original article he can't even find. Now, why would that article be got? Like, probably not real.
Back in 2009, dozens of
Because I don't see any photos from the house that would show that this is like the same house or anything like that. And the biggest thing is that's an American grenade. I'm pretty 100% positive that that's an American grenade. And number two, lighter to a live grenade. You're dumb. Number two, plastic. Somebody already had said it was plastic, probably because they knew that the bottom of a grenade probably has a stamp on it or something. Like, who knows? Like, there's probably some kind of marking on a grenade. And also, you can hold a lighter to plastic and it will be fine for a little while. So,
Back in 2009, dozens of 4chan users started to bring attention to a pretty strange phenomenon that was taking place all over the internet, in which some mysterious comments about key lime pie were cropping up on countless websites, blogs, and forums everywhere online. Although the original 4chan threads in which these discussions took place have since been deleted, I was able to find some more recent Reddit threads covering the same key lime pie phenomenon. In 2016, Reddit user KeyLimeWTF uploaded a long post about his or her investigation into the whole thing, and it read, "So, I'm just gonna throw this one out there since I haven't found anyone who's investigated or discussed this super weird, almost nonsensical mystery. To begin, I was reading a story in my local college newspaper. In fact, it was the most read article on the site. There were 3 comments on the story itself, and one of them seemed utterly strange. There's an absurd amount of references to pop culture names as well as some political names. But the subject of every line relates back to, more often than not, these things. Mrs. Anita Pelaez, Captain Coochie Pelaez, Key Lime Pie, some Coochie's restaurant, North Carolina near the Biltmore Estate, Key West, Florida. And not every post is exactly the same, but some are. Some reference weird pop culture icons, while some just seem to be weird out-of-place pie recipes. The oldest post we found was from 2009, with the most recent being an awful TMZ story. Super weird, but if you were to Google or research those names associated with key lime pie, what you would discover is that this has been posted all over US media sites. A couple of things here that we discovered down the rabbit hole. Coochie's Key West Bar and Grill existed in one way or another. It's listed on local eatery websites and Google Maps, but there's really no information as to what exactly it was. The
okay.
majority of the posts we found were done by a Jake Carson, a fake name, or by celebrity/political figures. Nothing totally makes sense, yet everything is related. Also, who would go through this much trouble for something as ridiculous as key lime pie for a restaurant that isn't real? I found that pretty much everything the OP was talking about in their post was perfectly true. There are indeed thousands upon thousands of strange comments and reviews about Captain Coochie's key lime pies on countless random websites. And a lot of these comments have appeared on sites that have absolutely nothing to do with pie, such as this extremely long and somewhat inappropriate comment that was posted on a memorial site for a woman from San Jose who passed away at 74. As I also found, a lot of these comments are posted in articles and blogs revolving around suggestive content, such as this other one that appears in an article about a dating show. It reads, "That Captain Coochie Pelaez of Cucharidaville over in Asheville, North Carolina sure enough is one wild and crazy guy. All the women are so wild about him and his famous cheeseburgers and key lime pies." But even though these comments are definitely weird, these are just 2 of thousands of accounts that have been created to post these comments everywhere online. As you might have
What?
noticed, the phrasing of these rants seem to follow a bit of a pattern. In pretty much all of the comments, almost all the words have been capitalized where they shouldn't be, and the poster always signs off in the same way, with 3 dots after the last word, followed by a fake name. I found that these comments have also been made on random Facebook posts. As you might have guessed, a bunch of people over the years have reached out to these Facebook accounts, and the responses they've gotten have been pretty disturbing, as you can see in this 2016 Reddit thread. The post reads, I decided to send Kuchi Palaya's a message and ask him when the world can know who Captain Kuchi is. I didn't expect a reply, but roughly a month later Kuchi replied, there's just no medicine like an all-natural key lime pie made from scratch. Plus a bunch of other garbled nonsense about key lime pie. After a little bit of back and forth, the user asked Captain Kuchi for the address of the restaurant, and this was the response they got. Close your eyes, let your ears listen to the radio. Do you hear my voice? Can you hear your own soul scream? Let me choose. My voice that predicts the future or your tormented reach. What do you choose? You can choose. Your life, your future. As smart as you are, you may have already found out that the radio drama from 75 years
Wait.
future.
Okay. So now this person is responding in not even English. So either the one person that's doing this is just like translating, or this really is just like a multi human phenomenon. I don't know.
As smart as you are, you may have already found out that the radio drama from 75 years ago was the truth. They are on our planet, and they watch and see everything. Don't trust anyone. Don't trust the police. They are already controlled by them. And a few more lines of paranoid ranting. Strangely, the original message was sent in Swedish, which is the Reddit user's native language. What makes
Right.
this disturbing is that there was nothing on the user's profile indicating that their first language was Swedish, which indicates that Captain Kuchi could have stalked the user. And eerily, this wasn't the only time this happened. Whenever people reached out to these accounts to ask for information about the key lime pie phenomenon, they would often receive strange responses with very specific information about their lives that the key lime pie people had no reason to know. The rabbit hole in this mystery goes pretty deep, but some things have been confirmed to be true. For example, as mentioned in the Key Lime WTF's Reddit post, Kuchi's Key West Bar and Grill was a real place in Asheville, North Carolina.
Yes, we know that.
According to dozens of Reddit users, the original owners were Oswald C. Pelaez, aka Kuchi, and his wife Anita Pelaez. But interestingly, even though the random comments and reviews are almost all about pie, the restaurant was actually known for its burgers. Still, despite this information, it's hard to understand where the connection is between the restaurant and the 15-year-long campaign to flood the internet with strange reviews about their key lime pies. Over the years, this has led thousands of people all over the internet to come up with all kinds of theories to explain the phenomenon.
This might be pointless to everyone else, but this little detail stood out to me and for some reason makes me believe the obsessive, autistic, mentally ill former restaurant patron theory. Considering the presidential runs did occur, for the most part, during the same years that the Key West Bar and Grill was open, I feel like this conversation definitely could have taken place, but obviously would have been at least 20 years prior to the 2016 election. What is everyone getting so crazy about this for?
The first theory is that all of the comments and reviews are coming from a single poster. Technically, this is a possibility. I mean, it's not uncommon for people with extreme obsessive personalities to become fixated on something as random as key lime pie and dedicate years to spreading bizarre content across the internet. However, the sheer volume of posts, accounts, and languages involved makes this kind of hard to believe. If you think about it, this would require the poster to individually open and verify thousands and thousands of sub-accounts, which would require a ton of
That's the
different email
thing.
addresses and more time than
It'd
we
be
can
too
imagine.
much.
This is why a lot of people have suggested that all of these comments could be coming from a bot. The fact that all the comments are written in a similar style makes this a possibility, but there's one major caveat here. Over the past couple of decades, Google has really cracked down on bot accounts, making it increasingly difficult for random bots to open accounts and post comments on random blogs and sites. And sure, this could be a pretty advanced bot that's been updated over the years to beat Google's security measures, but there's really very little motive for anyone to take the time to design something like this. So, in the absence of a solid explanation, some slightly more disturbing theories have been proposed by the online community.
Let's go.
According to one of the most popular ones, these comments could be a coded method of communication for some sort of cult or underground organization with nefarious purposes. This could explain the endless, seemingly random pop culture references and indecipherable strings of garbled text with random capitalization. I also found some Reddit comments where the users alleged that Kuchi's Key West Bar and Grill was being used as a cover-up for something more.
This is such an interesting location to me. Like, look at that purple house behind it, if that even is a house. So strange. And in this one, the house is white. This is a major route, too. There's like many cars on this road, multi-lane road, and some weird like log cabins behind it too. It's so strange. Like this has obviously been boarded up for a while, right? But there's also like multiple cars just parked there at the time. I just don't know.
Reddit comments where the users alleged that Kuchi's Key West Bar and Grill was being used as a cover-up for something more sinister. For example, in 2017, a user posted a comment saying, "I grew up in Arden and drove by it nearly every day of my life and never once saw more than one car there. When I reached my 20s, I assumed it was a money laundering operation or something similar. A friend of mine actually ate there once many years ago. If I recall correctly, it was empty and the food was unremarkable. It had never occurred to me to do the same." This is honestly just one of those mysteries that you could make an entire documentary series about and you'd still barely be scratching the surface. To
Yeah.
this day, nobody really knows where all these comments are coming from, who's posting them, and why or even how many people are involved in this whole campaign. And considering how deep the rabbit hole goes with this one, we can safely assume that it'll probably stay that way for a long time.
I'm assuming, I mean, maybe it's just a thing that like trolls just like to talk about and have fun with and like just post stupid stuff about. It's just like a thing that people do. And another thing that I didn't realize about Google Maps or Google Street View, I should say, is that you can actually look at all of the previous times that the Google Street View camera car went by it. That's so neat. I didn't realize that. So like you can actually look like down at the bottom, you can see 2019, 2018, 2017, and it goes back and back and back. And you can see the way that a neighborhood or a particular building or whatever changed throughout the years. That's so cool.
And you'd still barely be scratching the surface. To this day, nobody really knows where all these comments are coming from, who's posting them, and why or even how many people are involved in this whole campaign. And considering how deep the rabbit hole goes with this one, we can safely assume that it'll probably stay that way for a long time. On Christmas Day 2014, an anonymous 4chan user opened a pretty disturbing thread with the words, "I bought a Wii U, but it was broken, so I opened the Wii U, and this thing was inside. What is this?" Next to the
Oh,
captions, the user uploaded a couple of images of some sort of.
is that a piece of poop? What? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Come on, 4chan. Come on, man. I bought a Wii U. So I cracked open the Wii U and there's a piece of poop inside. Come on.
brown, oval-shaped object inside the console. At first glance, the OP thought it was probably something an animal had left in there, but a few minutes later, he followed up with some images that looked like something straight out of a nightmare. Apparently, the brown object was some sort of spider nest, and as soon as the OP cracked it open, it looked like this. A few minutes later, the poster commented, "At least the spiders are already dead. Whatever happened, it's an egg opened too soon or an egg that never managed to open. The spiders must have devoured each other to stay alive and eventually grew to max capacity and truly died. The size shows they're adults, but the color shows they literally have no plating or skin." 3 minutes later, the OP gave a chilling update saying, "This one was still alive. And this is where the thread starts to get a little disturbing. Just a few
Okay.
seconds later, another user commented on the post saying, "Okay, I googled it for you, OP. That's a dirt dauber nest. The spiders are paralyzed inside of it. If they're not dead by now and they're actually fresh catches, they're gonna be waking up soon." And responding to the image of the live spider the OP posted, the user warned, "This spider kind of looks like a brown recluse. If you let it sting you, your arm is gonna start rotting while you're alive." Responding to the
Great.
original picture of the spiders, another user commented, "By the looks of it, the last one just woke up, and the dirt dauber might not even have started laying its larvae yet. If that's the case, these might all just be paralyzed. Also, I'm afraid for OP's life, since the spider that did wake up looks like a brown recluse, and if that's actually the case, the OP has a dirt dauber nest full of brown recluses. He's in for one hell of a ride." Over the next several minutes, dozens of other
Well,
users jumped in the chat to warn the OP not to provoke the spiders under any circumstances. Fortunately, shortly after, the OP posted a final update to the thread saying, "OP here, they weren't dead and they started to move. I ran out of my house and called the exterminator. I'm posting from my cell phone." It's pretty disturbing to think that a nest of poisonous spiders could be growing inside of one of your consoles without you knowing it. And
how, though? How did that happen? For real. How did that happen? How did this occur? Please help me understand. If this is real, help me understand.
according to another commenter, it's actually pretty common for dirt daubers to do this. Thankfully, it looks like the OP was okay. In March 2020,
It's common. What? It's common for dirt daubers to to make dirt nest inside of Wii U's? Because I don't think so. Where'd they get the dirt from? None of that makes sense. Not real. That is not real, not true. Don't believe it. Chilling scares. Come on, man. You're so discerning. Like, I know that you know that that can't be real. Brown recluse spiders are not going to carry around in their, you know, however many legs, 8 legs, that they have in their little mandibles. They're not going to carry around grains of dirt and bring them over into the Wii U. And how is this? I mean, this is straight from the factory, supposedly. Like, no, just no. There's no way. I mean, the spiders didn't get in there on their own, and the Wii U factory didn't pack up an entire dirt dauber nest or a brown recluse nest. I don't even understand the distinction between dirt daubers and brown recluse because I've never even heard what a dirt dauber is, and I'm pretty. It sounds like a different species of spider entirely. But anyway, um, I don't even know that looked like a pretty big nest full of a decent amount of spiders. Number two and number three, I don't see how they could have even fit into the Wii U at all. I mean, that thing's pretty thin. Even if you cracked it open, like entirely, like took a cross section of that Wii U, most of that is going to be um circuit board and processor and battery and things like that. And then you've got like, I'm pretty sure in the Wii U, it's probably got like not a rechargeable battery. It's probably got like double A's or something, and even that's not very big. Probably runs off maybe four at the most double A's, let's say. And that's gonna be like this much. I don't really see it being real at all. So that's my take on that. I mean, maybe the nest and the spiders and stuff is real. But again, people can post anything on 4chan. And if you are going through a situation like this, why are you posting it on 4chan? Please, please tell me why. What are you expecting to get from this?
an anonymous In March 2020, an anonymous 4chan user posted an image of a missing girl named Lisa Irwin, along with a set of coordinates that point to
Oh, and hey, Bacon Eater, what's going on?
In March 2020, an anonymous 4chan user posted an image of a missing girl named Lisa Irwin, along with a set of coordinates that point to a random location in the middle of the trees somewhere in Lakeside Village, Kansas. For context, Lisa had gone missing in October 2011 when she was just a 10-month-old baby. That day, Jeremy Irwin, Lisa's dad, came back from work at 4 a.m. and immediately called the cops when he saw his daughter was missing from her crib. Disturbingly, he mentioned to his wife Deborah that the front door was unlocked and that 3 cell phones were missing. During the investigation, a bunch of really strange things started happening, and it was hard for the cops to make sense of anything. Even though some witnesses had reported seeing a strange man carrying a baby wearing a diaper near the area where Lisa had gone missing, they didn't have enough evidence to arrest a particular suspect. Surveillance video from the area showed a man dressed in white leaving a wooded area near the Irwins' house at 2:30 a.m., but the suspect the cops brought in as a result of the footage had rock-solid alibis. Chillingly, when the cops searched the Irwins' house that same year, dogs picked up the scent of a dead body in Deborah's bedroom. When the authorities confronted her about it, she claimed she didn't initially look for her daughter because she was afraid of what she might find. This was just the first in a series of strange claims and contradictions that Lisa's mom would
What?
find herself in. Later, she would allege that the last time she had seen her baby, it had been around 10:30 p.m. But after, she confessed that she had been drinking with a friend and didn't remember when the last time she saw her daughter was.
What?
Investigators also accused Deborah of failing a lie detector test, and even her own best friend told the police that Deborah had a dark side and that she believed she could have been responsible for the disappearance of her own daughter.
Oh.
Strangely, the cops later found that one of the 3 cell phones that were taken from the house had made a 50-second call late on the night Lisa went missing. But both Deborah and Jeremy denied making the call. When the cops investigated the call, they found that it had been made to a Kansas City woman named Megan Wright. Interestingly, Megan had once been in a relationship with a suspect in the case, a drifter who lived in a halfway house close to the Irwins. Still, she denied being the one who had picked up the phone on the night of Lisa's disappearance.
Who made this map? Who made this map? Because that's not how you spell witnesses. What kind of spelling is this, folks? What is this? What is this? Sad. Sad. Oh.
To this day, the cops are convinced that whoever made that call is responsible for whatever happened to Lisa, but in the absence of new evidence, the case went cold for a very long time. The image you see in the 4chan thread is actually an age-progressed picture released by the authorities to help the public identify the victim, and it shows what Lisa would have looked like at 7 years old. As soon as the user posted the coordinates, some of the commenters started suspecting that the OP was the perpetrator, and that the coordinates pointed to the location in the middle of the woods where Lisa's body was located.
I'm emailing the FBI. Okay. What's the FBI's email, by the way? Is it that easy to grab? I don't even know what the FBI's phone number is. Is that I'm sure that's easy to get. Well, I'm sure the FBI's email is easy to get too. I'm sure I could just search it up and there it is. Fair enough. But who's emailing the FBI? Why don't you call the FBI? Who says that? Like, for real, who says that? Like, when somebody's like witnessing a crime, do they say, I'm emailing the police, I'm emailing 911, I'm emailing the FBI right now, you better watch out? No, you are calling the police, you're calling the FBI. What?
One user commented, I just emailed this thread to 2 local NBC affiliates in Kansas that cover the Thompsonville and Oskaloosa area. Hopefully this is legit and we can finally do some good and bring peace to a family. But even though a lot of people got in touch with the police over the leaked coordinates, frustratingly, nothing really came of them. And it's unclear if the cops just didn't investigate the coordinates, or if they did but they didn't find anything there. To this day, Lisa's disappearance has created more questions than answers. Was it the guy who was seen in the surveillance footage? Was it the parents? Or the 4chan user? We'll likely never know.
Well, if the canines alerted to a corpse in the bedroom, wouldn't they, or shouldn't they, dig around, try to figure out the situation, try to figure out maybe like under the floorboards or in the wall, or I don't know, some sort of something that could figure that out. I don't know how real that side of the situation is. I don't know, but that's the end of it. Either way, a little weird.
As you probably know, one of the most popular features of 4chan was that it allowed its users to stay completely anonymous, which was part of the culture of the forum.
Yeah,
Still, some users chose to have
which is why a lot of this stuff is just BS. That's why we are able to do video after video of most disturbing 4chan threads, because there's nothing, there is no social consequence for your actions on 4chan. You can be completely anonymous. And with the ability to be completely anonymous also grants a complete lack of social consequence.
a username to put more weight behind their words of the forum. Still, some users chose to have a username to put more weight behind their words and engage in genuine social interactions with others. This was the case with user UTV, who was very active on the 4chan sports board back in the day. Based on his post, UTV was an Englishman who followed the Premier League, was a fan of Aston Villa striker Christian Benteke, and hated Manchester City. Most of his interactions in the boards he participated in are pretty much exactly what you'd expect from a slightly aggressive sports fan in an online board. But there was one thing that made UTV's post stand out in the sea of 4chan threads. Strangely, UTV had a secret admirer, an anonymous user who tracked, archived, and followed every single one of UTV's posts and comments across more than
What?
200 archived and UTV had a secret admirer.
UTV had a secret admirer, someone who tracked and recorded every interaction that this Englishman who liked a soccer team and was active on Sports 4chan ever did. Okay, all right.
An anonymous user who tracked, archived, and followed every single one of UTV's posts and comments across more than
What is this? Since the beginning of June 2013, I've taken great interest in the SB trip user UTV. I've archived his posts and made these archives public and celebrated him in many ways, some of which I have made public, such as our 100th anniversary celebrations. However, most of the things I have written about him have no place in the public eye. This is a collection of private works, stories, images, and other features about UTV that I cannot place anywhere else, and I am merely keeping for my own usage and view. What is happening right now, dude?
250 threads. Whenever UTV posted anything, the anonymous user would archive his posts, comment on them, and summarize his activities with perfect precision. At first, it was kind of funny, and it seemed like the user was just a troll who liked to mess with UTV for no particular reason. And it seemed like the trolling had the desired
What? I do not wish to troll UTV. I am merely attempting to learn more about him so that I can improve our relationship. The name of this idea is a play on words, bait being the kind of post that lures others into posting, and the bait or debate referring to what arouses from the posts I am going to make towards UTV. This shows that UTV is likely to respond to messages that aren't specifically targeted at him if they mention subjects he is passionate about. This shows what a passionate and exciting young prospect he is. This is absolutely wild. If this is, I mean, this is obviously real, but if this isn't UTV doing it to himself, then this is Wild.
who liked to mess with UTV for no particular reason. And it seemed like the trolling had the desired effect, as UTV would often blurt out some pretty aggressive comments at the anonymous user, frustrated with the level of obsession the user had developed towards him. In one thread, UTV commented, "Archiving my post in here is one thing, but you're actually stalking me in other threads too. Get a life." After weeks of stalking and obsessing over UTV's every move, the user earned himself the nickname The Archiver from other board members who found his activities hilarious. Unfortunately for UTV, the more he engaged with the archiver, the more the archiver would obsess over logging, categorizing, summarizing.
Why UTV? This is the archiver. Why UTV? UTV is something I cannot explain. He has a certain magnetism. If he has encountered the X-Man Magneto, he would be in a great deal of danger. He is funny, intelligent, posts often enough that I can archive his posts without any real problems. He attracts me, and he completes me. Note that this is not an attempt to dox or reveal UTV's real identity. I have no interest in those ideals and want UTV to be around as long as possible so that we can continue our fruitful and boundless relationship. This is someone who is deeply in love and disturbed. And this is not a woman. This cannot be a woman. This has to be a man. This man really likes this other man.
Praising and decorating his posts. And like I said, at first,
And then the next part, what is it?
summarizing, praising, and decorating his posts.
Why am I doing this? Because UTV is my passion, my hobby, and my social life. I love him. I mean, this is absolutely wild. If one person that doesn't even have a name attached to the username, it's just a person, it's a faceless random username of 3 letters, and they are your passion, your hobby, and your social life, then you are a deeply disturbed individual. I mean, there is no other way to say it. There's no other way to put it other than that.
And like I said, at first it was kind of funny, especially if you were just a random 4chaner watching the whole thing develop from a distance. But after a few weeks, the plot took a pretty creepy turn. In July 2013, the archiver was no longer satisfied with simply logging the posts, so he started
Uh-oh.
composing songs and poems based on UTV's interests and
Sonnets? How can I explain my deep-seated love for UTV? I could compare him to an Aston Villa goal. But unlike a Villa goal, UTV enlightens me. I want him with me always, like a benign mole. Wow. And this is before uh AI that could just compose sonnets for you at will. Like this dude probably actually thought these like a benign, I want him always with me like a benign mole. That is so funny and terrible. I
personality, including a limerick that read, "There was once a young Phil from Kent who loved to call Frodo an ent. He bet against Villa in a 3-1 thriller. They lost and his money was sent." It's worth noting that UTV's real name was actually Phil, meaning the archiver had started finding out more and more personal information about him as time went on.
oh
Over the
no.
following weeks, the archiver progressed from songs and poems to other kinds of worship and obsession, which included making ink blot tests featuring UTV's posts, as well as designing detailed floor plans for the home he would like to live in if he and UTV ever moved in together.
Oh my
He even made
god.
preparations for UTV's funeral with detailed instructions for his family to follow on the day of the ceremony. Made preparations for UTV's funeral with detailed instructions for his family to follow on the day of the ceremony.
Oh no. The 4 blue boxes represent seating, family on the right, TRBers on the left, and other assorted guests on the 2 other seating areas. The middle is the open casket, which will be left as open as UTV was during his life. The stand on which eulogies will be given will be straddled over the casket so that the people Phil cares about can stand above him as they speak about his life. This is crazy.
The madness continued for several weeks until on October 7, the archiver made his final post about UTV in the TRB board saying, "I have been with UTV for 255 threads. This is the last one. My parents have discovered my UTV works and they have insisted I remove everything of the type from my computer and be done with it. They will be monitoring my activities now to ensure I cannot do it anymore. This is my final message. I'm sorry to UTV and I hope he sees this and understands. I have one more gift to share with him. This 97-page document contains every personal work I've created that involves UTV in any way. It is for him. I do not want anyone else to read it. However, I cannot stop you from doing so."
You are dumb. I mean, you are dumb. You have just posted something to a public 4chan thread, and you say, this is for only one person. I can't stop you guys from reading it. But I don't want you to. It's not for you. It's just for him. Yeah, okay.
As the entire internet soon found out, the archiver wasn't lying about the document. He literally compiled an almost 100-page
Who is UTV? A quick biography of my friend. First thing to say about UTV is he is a user on 4chan, but more specifically, he uses the football manager or TRB threads. He as his main posting area. I have also used this board for a while, but generally without purpose, wandering lonely as a cloud until I found UTV. I, I don't. This is just this cannot, this has to be
PDF
satire.
featuring everything he had written and designed over almost 5 months of insane obsession over a random dude on 4chan.
Yeah,
The
random.
Phil Marillion, as the archiver titled the document, contained detailed information
Phil Marillion. His name's Phil. That is so wild, man. This has to be the most crazy parody satire, sort of like ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
about Phil's posts, his interests, and his interactions with the archiver. On the front page, an explanation for the document reads, "Why am I doing this? Because UTV is my passion, my hobby, and my social life. I love him, and I love archiving his posts. Archiving his posts isn't enough. They are my bread and butter, but this is the salt and pepper on the sandwich that spices it up." The rest of the 97-page document is about as crazy as you'd expect from a guy who spent all his waking hours stalking another guy on 4chan. It contains detailed stories and fantasies involving the archiver and UTV, a detailed plan to make UTV like him more, pictures of inventions and gadgets the archiver designed using snippets of UTV's posts, an incredibly dark and meticulously planned blueprint to abduct UTV and hold him hostage for £40 million, and so much more stuff that you can't even imagine. When the
Wow.
archiver shared his masterwork, Phil responded only with a question mark and then vanished forever from 4chan. To this day, the internet still doesn't know what to make of the archiver or his motivations behind obsessing over a stranger to such an insane degree. Some allege mental illness, others think the archiver just genuinely loved Phil. But whatever the case, the PDF served as a wake-up call to be careful who you talk to or give information about yourself online,
For real.
because you never really know what they're doing with it.
For real. For real, folks. For real. Be careful. Be careful, because I don't know if that's satire. I don't know if that's real. I don't know if that's fake, but oh my God, that one was something right there. That one was different. That one hit different. Just wow. Okay. All right. Well, that is going to be that. It is plenty late enough for us to wrap up for the night and get rolling. Everybody needs to get to sleep. I need to get to sleep. Um, and so do you. So, anyways, to all of those of you who have said good night, um, like Bacon, like Othello, good night to you. And I'm glad that you enjoy all that I do, even if it isn't technically your cup of tea, Amira. Of course, I cannot do everything, and please everybody. I wish I could. Uh, but I always love when you're here for whatever I do, you know. Um, and yeah, so guys, much love to you all. I have had such a beautiful, beautiful stream with you guys. It's been great to be back. Um, and we'll probably just do more of these types of streams for a while until, again, like I say, I get caught up on the all of the video content that I have to get caught up on, before I can keep making more of it. So, yes, I hope that you all had a great stream, with me as well. I mean, it definitely has seemed like it. I miss you guys so much, and it's great to have all of you back. And I will see you all in the next one. Hopefully, that will be tomorrow, as long as I've got the time. I should have the time. I will make the time. Um, so, yes, with that, folks, I will say, I'll try that again. I will say, I don't like it. I'm going to try one more time. I will say, good night. There we go. Good